Have you ever heard of the boy in a box? On a cold afternoon on the 25th of February in 1957, a young college student named Frederick Bonosis was walking through a quiet wooded area in Fox Chase, Philadelphia. He was passing along a stretch of Susquehanna Road, checking his muskrat traps, when something unusual caught his eye. There was a discarded cardboard box lying in the bushes. As curiosity got the better of him, he decided to take a look inside, but what he would find would horrify him. Inside was the small body of a young boy wrapped in a cheap flannel blanket. His body had been placed with care, suggesting that whoever abandoned him hadn't simply tossed him aside or tossed him away, but instead arranged him that way on purpose. The boy's body was marked with bruises and scars, and his ribs were poking out, showing clear signs of malnutrition. His light brown hair had been aggressively cut, with clumps of it scattered around the inside of the box. His hands and feet were wrinkled, as if someone had submerged him in some liquid for an extended period of time. This would eventually lead investigators to believe that he had been bathed shortly before his death. His lips were cracked and his limbs were stiff from the winter cold. His eyes, which were once a bright blue, were now lifeless. The autopsy later confirmed that he had died from blunt force trauma to the head, but his injuries suggested a fairly long history of physical abuse rather than a single violent act to take his life. The condition of his body told a tragic story of prolonged neglect, starvation, and repeated mistreatment before his final moments. Yet, the obvious question still lingered. Who was he, and why had no one come forward to claim him?